Russia has just launched the silver ruble, a move that is sending shockwaves through global financial markets, leaving economists scrambling, investors fearful, and ordinary citizens oblivious to the quiet storm that could soon upend the U.S. economy. The implications are enormous, yet hidden behind technical jargon and government press releases that obscure the gravity of the situation. This isn't just about Russia stabilizing its currency or expanding its reserves. This is about the possibility of triggering a global chain reaction that could tighten its grip around the U.S. financial system like a constricting snake, suffocating purchasing power, destabilizing markets, and eroding the retirement dreams of millions. Every dollar you hold, every bond you own, every paycheck you receive could be silently affected before you even realize the danger exists. To comprehend the potential consequences, we must first understand what the silver ruble truly represents. Silver is not merely a metal. It is a strategic tool with centuries of financial precedent. When the British Empire faced crippling debt after endless wars in the 18th and 19th centuries, their solution was not always visible to the public. They leveraged silver, recalibrated its value, and used it to stabilize their currency, buying themselves time against a collapsing economy. Today, Russia is employing the same principle, but with a modern twist, a state-backed, silver-supported digital currency designed to bolster national reserves, create liquidity, and potentially challenge the dominance of the US dollar in international trade. The math behind this is stark. Consider this. The US carries over $35 trillion in national debt. Interest obligations alone consume over $1.5 trillion per year, and a mere 1% increase in interest rates translates to an additional $350 billion that doesn't go toward social services, infrastructure, or innovation. It vanishes into the gears of bond markets, a silent drain on the economy. Now imagine foreign powers diversifying away from the dollar, leveraging silver or gold, or introducing alternative currencies that bypass traditional systems. The trapdoor beneath the U.S. economy swings wider with every strategic move, and ordinary citizens are unknowingly dancing above it, playing a high-stakes game of musical chairs where the chairs are disappearing faster than the news reports can explain. History offers chilling parallels. The Great Depression, the stagflation of the 1970s, post-World War I currency collapses all demonstrate the devastating impact hidden financial maneuvers can have on ordinary lives. Governments and central banks have long used levers invisible to the public: gold and silver revaluations, executive orders controlling money supply, digital currency initiatives that can track, restrict, or reroute funds. During these crises, retirees watching their fixed incomes, wage earners trying to stretch paychecks, and savers hoping for steady growth were often the first casualties. The same could happen again, only now the mechanisms are faster, more interconnected, and harder to detect. Let's break it down. Picture the U.S. economy as a vast ballroom, the floor teeming with citizens and markets alike. National debt, foreign reserve strategies, and digital currency frameworks are the trapdoors hidden beneath the floorboards. Interest rate fluctuations are the shifting currents of wind, tilting the floorboards ever so slightly. The introduction of a new reserve-backed currency like Russia's silver ruble is a hammer blow, a seismic vibration that could unseat millions. Every dollar diverted into silver-backed instruments, every bond traded in reaction to this pivot, is like a domino falling silently, eventually threatening the stability of your personal finances. The mechanisms are not theoretical, they are mathematically demonstrable. If Russia succeeds in incentivizing other nations to hold silver or silver-linked currencies, the demand for the US dollar could contract. Let's run a hypothetical. If global demand for dollars falls by 10%, the dollar's value could decrease by 8–12%, directly affecting imports, exports, inflation, and interest rates. For a retiree with $500,000 in a 401k, that could mean a paper loss of $40,000, $60,000 overnight before market reactions compound the effect. For families with fixed mortgages, interest rate spikes could make monthly payments unaffordable, squeezing budgets tighter than ever. This is not science fiction. It's a realistic scenario based on historical financial behavior and modern policy tools. Digital currency frameworks amplify the danger. A government-backed digital dollar or central bank digital currency is not merely a convenience, it is a mechanism of control. It allows authorities to monitor every transaction, redirect funds, freeze accounts in emergencies, or manipulate liquidity during crises. Imagine your checking account as a river. With a digital currency, the government can subtly reroute tributaries, dam sections, or accelerate outflow, all under the guise of economic stabilization. When coupled with external pressures like a silver ruble-driven shift in reserves, the flow of money to ordinary citizens could be slowed, constricted, or even temporarily redirected without any public explanation. The historical context is both instructive and terrifying. During the British Empire's strategic silver revaluation, ordinary citizens were largely unaware of the manipulation until inflation or deflation directly affected their purchasing power. Governments have long relied on opacity, using complex mechanisms to buy time, stabilize debt, or restructure markets, while hiding the immediate human consequences. Today, with global financial interconnectivity, these levers operate at digital speed. Policies enacted in Moscow, Beijing, or Washington can ripple across continents in minutes, affecting stock markets, commodity prices, and personal finances before anyone fully grasps the consequences.
Let's consider gold and silver as stabilizing anchors. Historically, precious metals have served as insurance against currency collapse. During crises, they maintain intrinsic value when fiat currencies falter. Russia's decision to anchor a ruble in silver is an attempt to leverage this principle, creating confidence domestically and internationally. If successful, it could prompt other nations to follow suit, creating a cascading effect. The dollar's global dominance erodes, U.S. reserves are pressured, and inflation could rise domestically as foreign capital moves toward perceived safety. For everyday Americans, this translates into rising costs for necessities, diminished retirement savings, and increased economic uncertainty.
The urgency cannot be overstated. Every delay in understanding these mechanisms increases vulnerability. Ordinary citizens rarely receive early warnings when financial reconfigurations are in motion. Bonds, interest rates, digital currencies, gold and silver valuations all operate in a web of interdependence where slight adjustments can yield outsized consequences. The time to act is not after the crisis has hit. It is before the levers are pulled, before the trapdoors swing open, before the musical chairs leave you without a seat. The practical implications are clear. Awareness is the first shield. Understand historical parallels, financial strategies, and the hidden mechanics of government policies. Diversification is the second. Holding a mix of assets, including precious metals, foreign currencies, or other tangible resources, can provide a buffer against unexpected shocks. Liquidity is the third. Ensure access to assets that can be quickly mobilized, protecting against sudden freezes or rapid devaluations. And monitoring policy shifts and executive directives is essential. Sometimes the smallest legal adjustment can ripple into enormous economic consequences, affecting your life without warning. Imagine a vault buried beneath a central bank, its doors controlled by levers no citizen can see. Silver, gold, digital currency, and debt instruments are all connected to those levers. A subtle rotation, a revaluation, or a policy shift can release wealth to some, siphon purchasing power from others, and reshape economic reality silently, invisibly, yet with irreversible impact. This is the modern reality of global finance. Russia's silver ruble is the first visible move in a potentially much larger strategy. What happens next could fundamentally alter the U.S. economy, and ordinary citizens may be caught unprepared. Time is constricting. Each headline, each market tick, each silent adjustment is another fraction of a second in a tightening timeline. The financial trapdoor does not announce itself before it swings. It falls. Retirees, savers, wage earners, all are participants in a global system they cannot fully control. Awareness, preparation, diversification, and vigilance are no longer optional. They are survival tools. Russia's silver ruble is more than a currency. It is a signal, a harbinger, a warning. The question is whether you will act while there is still time, or wait until the dominoes have fallen and the trapdoor has closed. The historical patterns are clear. The British Empire, the US during the Great Depression, post-WWI Europe, all demonstrate that hidden financial levers, if not understood and anticipated, lead to devastating consequences for the average citizen. Today's world is faster, more interconnected, and more digital, making it easier for governments to manipulate outcomes, while the public watches, largely unaware. The consequences for ordinary Americans, lost wealth, diminished purchasing power, constrained financial freedom, could be severe if they fail to recognize the warning signs. Russia's silver ruble may yet be just the first move in a global game of chess that will determine economic dominance for decades to come. Gold revaluations, debt maneuvers, digital currency rollouts, and hidden executive orders are all potential levers being silently activated. The stakes are enormous. Ordinary citizens, retirees, savers, and wage earners could be the unintended victims. The time to act is now. Diversify, understand, and prepare. The trapdoors are beneath our feet. The levers are being pulled, and the musical chairs are shrinking. Awareness is your only shield. Preparation, your only safeguard. History favors those who anticipate, not those who react too late.